Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm going to go through a few charts with you this week, and then we'll get on to the account to see how the account's going. This is the US dollar against the Japanese yen. I believe we're going to see bullish momentum in the dollar at the moment, and flip round from where it's been weak. We've just got a break above this line at the end of the week we've just had, so I believe it's going to make a move up. This is a descending narrowing wedge with a bit of structure there. It's broken above the structure and it's broken above the wedge, which would tell me we should see a bullish movement on the United States dollar against the Japanese yen. I've got a feeling that that's going to be the case across the board, so I'm just going to run through some charts with you and show you my views on this. Obviously, these are my views. It's not. I'm not by any means telling you what to trade or what you shouldn't trade. It's not advice on how to trade or anything like that. You should just stick to your plan and remember you've got risks associated with trading. So I'll just run through the things that I'm looking at really. This is a head and shoulders pattern on the GBP USD. As you can see, that's the left shoulder, the head, and then the right shoulder. This broke when we had the Brexit news. We had a retest, drop down. We're on a monthly chart, and as you can see, we're moving back to this real strong structure area. So again, going with the dollar momentum becoming bullish, we could see a pullback from this point to the downside. So it's just another chart adding to my view of the dollar possibly becoming bullish, and that's a head and shoulders pattern on that. This is Euro USD on the weekly. Got strong support zone or resistance zone through here. We're going up in an ascending narrowing wedge. Obviously it's climbing and getting narrower towards the top. Particularly what normally happens with this pattern is you get a break below, a retest, and then a move down. So this again would show that the dollar is possibly going to become stronger. Another pattern to add to our collection that we're looking at that could signify that the dollar is going to go for a bullish move. You would expect it to come roughly down to around there. Whether or not it does is another thing, but obviously don't base your trading on this. This is purely me just showing you what I'm looking at, and that's basically building up a case for me to think that the dollar might make a strong move. This is gold on the weekly. We've got another head and shoulders pattern forming. Well, it has formed and broken. So you've got the left shoulder, that's the head, and then you've got the right shoulder. You've had a break below the bottom of this line, and then if that's not already the retest there, you may see a little retest up before a further move down. If that was the retest, this green line here, then I would expect just to see a further move to the downside. Again, bolstering dollar, bringing on a bullish movement. You could almost argue the fact, looking at this as well, that there's a possible ascending opening wedge on this. If I draw some lines in, which would signify possibly a further move down. If this was to come through here and then break this bottom line, then we'd be looking at quite a drop in gold down into the 1200s. We'll keep monitoring this and keep an eye on it and see where we end up. This is US 30 Wall Street, the top 30 companies of Wall Street. As you can see, really strong structure line that struggled to break through right back to 2018. It's touched a few times. We've got a candle close on Friday, which is very much an indecision candle, spinning top, so we could see a trend reversal from this point. Again, this would indicate that we're going to get bullish movement in the dollar, so we'll keep watching this. All of these, I'm basically using all of these to try and build up a bigger picture of what we could see happening with the dollar, to give you an idea on what I'm looking at really. Right, this is a chart on Barrick Gold. We did have a position in Barrick Gold, but I've decided to exit it because I believed it was going to come down further. Again, we've got head and shoulders pattern. That's your left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. Got a lot of structure here, which is pushed right through. We exited, I think it was around $20.74, which was obviously good because we've come further down to 1978. So I'm basically just trying to manage the capital. It'd be nice to get all winners. That's never going to be the case. You're going to get some winners, some losers. But the main thing is to try and manage your portfolio and manage the money, protect your capital. So if you believe that the trade has gone against you, you need to exit that trade and protect the money that you've got there, which is what we did on this one. We may get a little bit of a bounce up for a further move down because of normally with a head and shoulders pattern you get a retest of that position before rolling over, and then I'd expect to see it down in the maybe the $12 zone for gold barrack. And we'll watch this one play out over the next week or so, maybe a couple of weeks. Right, and this is looking at the account. Obviously, like I said, if I click on history, we've got a loss now of gold barrack, basically because I believed it was going to come further to the downside, which it has at the moment. It's currently at $19.20 or 30. We closed out at 20.44, so we've saved ourselves from a bigger loss. Over the course of the year, we're still up, so we're at 13.62%. We've got some trades running at the moment. I've got some on Etoro, which I believe is going to go further to the upside. Sunworks, I think, will come back to us, and Lemonade, I think, is going to grow. Obviously, we may see some bearish moves in the stock market if the dollar does get more dominant. This we will just manage as we go along, and we'll keep an eye on it. The stats at the moment they're showing minus 0.33 for the year. That's obviously taken into the positions we have open at the moment. Risk score level 8. I think that's because I've got more trades in Etoro. We're minus 9.9% on the daily, minus 10.62% on the weekly, and minus 16.25% on the yearly. We have gained a copy trader, which means someone's copying all our trades now, which is good. We've done 26 trades in total so far, one being a loss, which was us cutting that loose because we believed it was going to go further to the downside. Averaging 3.71 trades per week, 6.5 day average holding time, and 42.86 profitable weeks. But basically we're going in the right kind of direction. It's a shame about the Barrick Gold trade, but like I said, I'd rather cut it loose and have a smaller loss than what we did take. So other than that, we're looking okay. We'll be back again next week with an update. It'd be interesting to see where we are with the dollar. Obviously nothing on here has been advice on how to trade or what you should be doing or telling you any trades to do. You should be following your plan, and I'm just literally showing you what I'm looking at and trying to make sure that I'm aware of. Like and subscribe if this has been any good to you. I hope so, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.